Hey everybody, and welcome to another show. How you guys doing today? I'm feeling energetic. I'm feeling blessed. Things are happening in my life, and I'm so happy that you can be here. So, without further ado, wake up, tell a friend. The Charles Matthews Show is live, and we are on. And if you're ready, like I'm ready, let's go. Let's have a great time today. Here we go. Yes, yes, good morning. And how is everybody doing? And if this is your first time, this is the Charles Matthews Show. I bring you special guests every morning onto the show. And if you're listening, if you're heading out the house, you can catch us on Spreaker right now. Go to the Charles Matthews Morning Show and you can catch my special guest. But without further ado, we're going to talk about a new author. Book launch, everything is going great. So I want to bring her on this show. We're going to talk about mental health awareness, different things about your different aspects of your life. So let's bring her in. Hey, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Great. So let me ask you, we were talking off camera, you're getting your son ready, you get everything ready in the mornings. How's it been, in this situation right now?
Well, I'm a student, so it's been a little challenging. Just having my son around 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, having to be a teacher, having to be a mom, having to be a student, just having to do it all, doing that superwoman type of movement.
Yes. Now you realize how I see a lot of parents now. There was a video of a van pulled up to a school.
Right.
The kids were just flying out of the car. Like the parents were just throwing the kids out.
Yes, I saw that video. I thought it was hilarious. Oh my gosh.
The parents don't realize how much they love school now, right?
I'm telling you, it's a good break.
So before we get started, tell us about you, who you are, where you're from. Give us a little bit more background.
Well, I am a author. I'm a new speaker. I am a mental health advocate that uses my story and to inspire people with mental health challenges to help them recognize that they can strive, that they can thrive, and they can live a life of abundance despite their challenges. That's who I am. Maybe you could tell me if there's more that you'd like me to share.
Yes, give us your background. How many brothers and sisters you have? Are you a Bramptonian, Toronto? Were you born and raised here? What's your ethnic background?
Okay, well, I am born and raised here in Toronto, Canada. My parents are Jamaican. I have 10 brothers and sisters. I'm the oldest, so okay. I'm the best, of course. My brothers and sisters are probably like, no, you're not the best.
I know, they just X'd you right there, but it's all right.
Yeah, exactly. You got an X right there. Also, I'm a current student at Centennial College. I study addictions and mental health, and in hope to become a peer support worker and speaker and all of the above.
So then, is that how the book came about? Because I have to applaud you. My book has been in the back of my shelf for over 20 years. Okay.
Oh, wow.
I don't know about writing this book. I know the book is a great thing to get out there, tell your story, but to me, it's nerve wracking every time I get in it. So I applaud you for getting this. What made you think, okay, you know something? This is the time. I have something to say. I know something about it. I got to get the word out. Why now? Why put the book out now?
Well, I put the book out. I actually was inspired by a friend of mine. She wanted to do a project with me that involved my story because I had been posting a lot about my story on social media in bits and pieces, just here and there. And she was quite interested with the story. So she said she wanted to do a project with me. And then she's like, just write a little bit of your story and so forth. So I wrote about 40 pages. And when I got to that, she's like, you know what? This could be a book. Keep writing. So I'm like, okay. So I kept writing for about another few more months. And then I met another woman named Victoria A. Morgan, who basically I joined her mentoring group, and she was like, she gave me a challenge, and she's like, you need to finish that book. I told her, I'm like, 4 more months, I probably should be done. And she's like, no, 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 no. You're going to finish that book in 30 days. And I'm like, no way.
That's the thing. She put it on you. She doesn't want
Yeah.
you to let it go. You're in the mode. You're thinking about it. Get the book done. Get it done.
Yeah. So within the 30 days, I was able to get that book done. And I was just so super excited.
All right. So this is your first one.
This is my first book. I have another one coming where I'll be writing a chapter as a co-author in a book called Landed for Success.
Okay.
So I'm working on that right now.
So look at you. Hold on. Look at you now. So before, nothing at all. Now I was like, oh, my first book and my second one, I'm just going to be releasing that soon. It's just like boom, 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 just like that now, right?
Well, but just a try a thing, you know.
Love it. Love it. So hold on. So now it's released.
Yes.
You're getting traction. What's the traction? What are you hearing? What are you feeling from this book?
Well, people are really enjoying the book. It was very raw and I was very transparent, and people are just very encouraged and inspired by it. And also they were educated by it because they got a chance to understand what mental health challenges look like. For me, my mental health challenge was bipolar, which basically is a mood disorder where you have the two different extremes, where you have the mania and then you have the depression, where it's just like two different extremes. Right. However, with medication and with psychotherapy and a support system, you can be level. So that's me.
All right. Now, the thing is, we're going to talk more into this because there's a lot of people out there that's dealing with mental health and stuff like this, and sometimes they feel like they can't survive, they can't thrive.
That's correct.
This is what you are all about. This is what the book is all about. Just because you have a certain situation doesn't mean you can't get to that next level.
Exactly.
There's help out there, and you wanted to tell your story to let everybody know it does not stop here.
Right.
So we're going to dive into your story a little bit more. How did you find out about it? Like, what made you think about, okay, what's going on in my life? How do I find out this? How do I find help? All right. So we're going to continue that right after this break. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. CMJ Entertainment is a one-stop shop. CMJ Entertainment helps people do any type of events, and it's a marketing tool as well. So we'll cover everything from start to finish. If it's a wedding, we'll make sure your wedding is over the top. And if it's an event, we make sure that everybody gets information at the end of the day. Give us a call at 416-414-8964 or online, go to cmjent.com.
Senior care plans, distinctively customized, let's help your elderly loved ones live a fuller, more meaningful life by providing them with care tailored to their needs. We provide care that our clients deserve and strive to acknowledge individual rights and legacies, while offering a supportive environment for both our clients and our team. We at Divine Favor Senior Home Care think about family first. Call us today 647-766-5394. We are waiting for you.
Yes, that's one of my sponsors. And I want to thank you so much for sponsoring the show. They are a great company. So we're going to move forward. So, hey, before the break, we talked about how'd you find out? What was it that's going on in your life that you found out that you said, okay, I need to move to the next level. Something's up. I need to get help, or whatever the situation is. Tell us a little bit about the backstory.
Okay. So what had happened was I was in my final year at the University of Toronto studying to get my Bachelor's of Arts. And I was taking a lot of African history courses. And I was inspired by doing those courses to start a nonprofit that was going to connect Black at-risk youth with Black professionals and mentors. And I spent a lot of time doing that. I was quite inspired, and to a point that I found myself switching, where I became a bit more obsessed with it. And I found myself talking a lot. I found myself traveling a lot, spending a lot of money. And I also even thought that I was on this mission where I was a spy, which didn't make sense.
Okay.
It was kind of weird. And then all of a sudden, one day, everything switched.
Okay.
And that burst of energy just turned into a low where I did not want to get out of bed, didn't want to comb my hair, I didn't want to eat. I suddenly wanted to die, and it didn't make a lot of sense because, I'm a woman of faith, and I mean, I felt as though I had a lot to live for, but I was very suicidal, and I realized because of that low, I realized that, you know what, I need to seek help because something is off.
Right.
So I decided to go to the Center of Addiction and Mental Health. I called a friend because she was in social work. So I called a friend and we went to the Center for Addiction and Mental Health. I spoke to one of the intake nurses and then a psychiatrist, and that is when I heard the term bipolar for the first time in my life. And that is when I was first diagnosed. And like I mentioned, bipolar is basically the two different extremes. So it made sense why I was going through what I was going through.
Right, because for 1 minute you're on this high of highs, you're traveling, doing things, you're on this mission to do stuff, and then it just like that, it just switched, and now you don't want to do anything. You're feeling sad all the time. You're like, wait, 1 minute I'm happy, 1 minute I'm sad. Did you think, well, maybe you just had something different that was going on? You didn't know like that could be it?
No, it's because of the low. The low is what alerted me to recognize that, you know what, something is up. You need to get some help. And just those looming feeling of death really, really, it just clouded me.
Okay.
And yeah, it was just odd, very odd.
So I have to say this again. People that are watching, if you're wondering, what's going on with you, there's nothing wrong for going to get help. And that's the one thing I want everybody to understand. If you think something is wrong, don't wait. There's nothing wrong to going to the doctor or going to a psychiatrist and say, I don't feel right. Something doesn't feel comfortable. It's better to know than not know.
True.
So people have to applaud you that you said, something is wrong here. I gotta go check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the main thing. And people don't know, like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And that's why you did what you did. And look at you now. Books coming out, speaking engagements. It is phenomenal. So let's dive into that part. I really want to get into what you are and what you're doing now. Okay, so let's get into that. There is your website. You have the launch coming in. You're talking about the book. You're talking about doing speaking engagements. So how did all that transform now? Because you wrote the book and the speaking engagement, the person's going to ask me to ask you, how do you feel comfortable talking about it?
Well, I remember one day I literally looked myself in the mirror.
Right.
And I said, you know what? My name is Cleoni Crawford and I live with bipolar, and that is okay. And that took a while because there was a lot of stigma that is attached with mental health where people don't necessarily treat you all that nice. and I went through a lot. It took many years because from 2006, it was probably until 2016 that I was, there was about a 6-year gap where nothing was happening, where I was okay. And then there was this period between 2012 and 2016 where things just went off the rails. And I realized I wanted to connect. I felt very alone. I felt very alone as a person going through the illness, and I wanted other people to recognize that they're not alone, that they can overcome, and that despite the challenges that, I wouldn't say overcome, that they can manage their mental health despite their challenges. So I decided to, what did I decide to do? I decided after meeting this woman, Shelley Jarrett from SMJ magazine, and when she told me that she liked my story,
right,
she was just like, you need to write. So I started writing, and And a year later, the book was done.
There you go. And I love that you know that there's a story to tell. I love
Yes.
that you know that you can help others by your story.
Yes.
If you want to go to her page, you know, it's a full story of, you know, helping others. And I think that's one thing why I wanted you on this show, is like you wanted to get it out there, not just for any fame.
No.
You're doing it to help other people.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
anybody that knows you or can talk to you and just talk to you and see what you're doing, you know, you're doing this to help others.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I'm hoping that, you know, through my story, that I'll be a spokesperson, a representative. I'm hoping that, you know, that I can become a voice to help other people. Just everyday people that recognizing that, you know what, you don't have to be in fear of your illness. It's not the end. It's not a death sentence. And because I felt like it was a death sentence for a very long time.
Oh.
And I felt like, you know what, because of the stigma, of course, that's why I felt like it was a death sentence. Like, this is it, this is over. But I'm hoping that my story will help people to recognize, no, it's not over. And you can give back, and you can give back as well by helping other people, by just sharing.
All right. Now, if you want her to come and do the speaking engagements, because you're doing speaking engagements now, all right, give her a call at 647-833-1135.
Yes.
Or you can just email her directly, and I'm going to let everybody know. I'll put it in the description. All right. And I love it. It's only Cleoni at Gmail. It's only you.
It's just only me.
But the thing is, your book, where can you purchase your book?
You can get my book on Amazon, on 7 different marketplaces on Amazon. So Amazon.ca.com, Japan, UK, etc. So all the Amazons, you can get the book.
All the Amazons. There's no place you can't get this book.
True.
Let's talk about one thing, though. What's the name of this book?
The name of the book is called The Music of My Life.
Yes. And I want to know, why did you name it The Music of Your Life? Like, some books, you look at it, you put it down.
Yes.
This book, if you guys can go online and take a look, I have it right here. It is colorful. The colors you use, the title you use, just wants you to grab the book. This was a phenomenal title. Why'd you call it The Music of My Life?
Because my life is literally music. It has its highs, it has its bridge, it has its plateaus, it has its where it comes down and then it goes back up. It's like a good composition. And then on top of that, music was a very big integral part of my life.
Okay.
When I was going through my highs, I had my music. I was dancing. I was singing. I was doing anything that had to do with music.
Right.
And when I was going through my lows and I felt like I couldn't make it, I needed music again to just kind of pick me up. Like, I remember one song that I loved so much, especially when I was going through depression, was the song Happy by Pharrell. I'm sure we all know it.
Yeah.
We know it. And literally, I played that song over and over again for 1 month when I was going through my depression, to kind of speak to my soul, to let me know that, you know what, I can be happy again.
Yes. That is beautiful. I like that. It's okay. So before we let you go, though, we do one thing here on the show. It's called the Queen Wave. This is your opportunity to thank everybody, talk to everybody, anybody out there that's watching. This is your opportunity. This is your shout out. This is basically, you winning that award on stage. This is your practice speech. Hit it.
All right. I would like to thank my mother, Janet, who has been my supporter through thick and thin. I'd like to thank my baby boy, Emmanuel, for coming into my life. He's 3 today. Today's his birthday. Yeah.
Let's give a big shout out to you. Happy birthday, buddy.
Yes. So I'd like to, for coming into my life and changing my life. And I would like to thank my friends, some really good friends of mine. I'd like to thank my family, my extended family, and my sister, Felicia. I would like to thank my church. which is my faith-based community, which is APC Ministries, and the pastor, Pastor Castro, for really standing behind me when I was going through what I was going through. And yeah, so that's who I'd like to thank for now.
All right. And please, I want to, like I said, I'm going to put her phone number and email in the description. If you think that you have something that's going on with you, if you think you know somebody and you don't want to talk to the doctors right away, this is a lovely lady to talk to. She might give you her insights and help you out, give you the direction she went into. There's nothing wrong with seeking some help or just asking questions. So please do it. You can give her a call if you're listening from anywhere around the world. It's 647-833-1135. That's 647-833-1135. Do give her a call. Not only is her voice spiritual, her body, everything, her mind, it's thank you for doing what you're doing. It is fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for having me on your show. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. So we'll talk to you next time.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
And there she is. And I just wanted to touch on this one more time. Is nothing wrong if you feel that you have some type of mentally issue or something that's going on and you need help. Go seek help, because if you see, look at the greatness that she's doing right now. Fantastic book launch. She's going to start doing some speaking engagements. There's nothing holding you down. So what's stopping you? All right. So give her a call. Check out her book. It is on Amazon. You can go to any platform and get it. The Music of My Life. The Music of My Life. Pick up the book. Like I always say to you, thank you. You didn't have to watch, but you did. We'll see you next time. Enjoy your day.
Has come to an end, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
Please be advised that this podcast is meant for educational and informational purposes only and is in no way a replacement for legal or medical advice. The opinions contained within are solely those of the interviewers and interviewees and should be received as so. Those seeking help or advice are encouraged to obtain professional legal and medical services.